67 Hack. Hack was asleep when the phone rang. It was amazing how much more sleep he got now that he was unemployed. He was starting to feel bad for all the people who had to drag themselves into their drone factories by 9. They didn't know what they were missing. Claire was at Siri's. He stumbled out into the kitchen. Hello? Hi, it's Thomas. Oh, hi. Look, Hack, I've been thinking I don't want to do the Nike Town with you. What? It's just after McDonald's it seems like we should lay low for a while, you know? McDonald's had been in the news big time. For 2 days, the TV had been full of shots of guys in moonsuits walking through the store, the shop front itself wrapped in plastic like something out of a science fiction movie. Since then, it was mostly serious-looking company spokespeople assuring the public that all precautions were being taken, that there was no risk, none at all. Oh, Hack said, you don't want to get in trouble? Right. He felt mad. There was no point in stopping after McDonald's. The point of the whole exercise was Nike. Gee, I'm sorry. I thought we were doing this because it was right. I thought we were standing up to corporations like McDonald's because someone has to. I didn't know we were doing it out of self-interest. Oh, Thomas said, it's just that, hey, I've got an idea. Why don't we put advertising on our uniforms? We could get sponsors and funding. That's not what and we'd only attack our sponsors, competitors, and we could charge a lot of money and design a logo and advertise, and we'd be just like them. There was a long pause. Then Thomas said, I'm sorry, Hack. Then get lost, you corporate sympathizer. He hung up. First Liesel, now Thomas. Hack was losing foot soldiers. It was amazing, he thought, how everyone beat about corporations, but no one was willing to risk peeing them off. Hack was disappointed at the level of motivation among this society's counterculture. He picked a note off the table. It was the message that man had left by Mitsui. Hack hadn't been going to return his call, but with Thomas pulling out, he could do whatever with the extra help. This was Nike, after all. Hack didn't want to make any more big mistakes. He met Claire downtown for lunch, and they sat on the same side of a booth in a Johnny Rockets. Sears only gave Claire 20 minutes for lunch, so these meetings were always a bit rushed. Given Hack's financial situation since losing his job, they were an extravagance. But it was worth it to see Claire. Apart from sticking it to Nike, seeing Claire was the only thing Hack wanted to do. Thomas pulled out. Can you believe that? Claire didn't say anything. What? Don't get upset. About what? Maybe you shouldn't do the Nike Town. He felt stunned. Claire, too? No, Claire, no, we're doing it. It's important to me. She was quiet. Hack sucked at his milkshake. Hack, I don't think this is making you a good person. He was bewildered. What do you mean? You used to be nicer, more generous. When I was nicer, everyone screwed me, he said, and even he recognized the echo of Violet in his words. He reached for Claire's hands. Look, the Nike Town is the end of it, but I have to do Nike, she nodded. I promise, Hack said. Claire, I promise. She smiled a little, and he felt better. I have to go. Okay. He stood to let her exit. It was nice to see you, Claire laughed. Hack sat back in the booth and picked at his food. What did she mean he wasn't a good person? Hack was taking charge of his life. He was dynamic and effective. Hack was a great person. He walked to the bus stop. The bench was plastered with an advertisement for Nike Plutoniums. They were the latest product line, due out in 3 years' time. Hack snored. The day before, he had seen Nike Mercuries selling for $99.95 in a bargain bin. The bus arrived and he climbed on board. 85 cents, buddy, the driver said. Hack dug in his pockets. The result was not promising. He should have had that Sunday. Shouldn't have had that Sunday, he realized. I've only got 50 cents. We take cards. They charge me transaction fees, Hack said. Come on, it's only 35 cents difference. You pay the fare or you catch a different bus, the driver said. What's the matter? Don't you have a job? Fine. Hack handed over his card. He sat at the back of the bus and stewed. Transportation was a basic necessity. It should be free. Maybe at the Nike Town, Hack could swipe some shoes. That wouldn't be stealing, because Nike had underpaid him for years. They owed him a lot more than a few pairs of sneakers. Yes, he thought, he would do that. The phone was ringing and he opened the door. Hello, don't hang up, Violet. I have a question. I need to know where the government took you when they arrested you. Why do you want to know that? It's very important, Hack. Where does Jennifer Government work? It was downtown on Spring Street. How come? Thanks, Violet said. Something in her voice scared Hack a little. I won't keep you from Claire. Goodbye. Wait, he said. How do you know Jennifer Government? But the line was dead. She was already gone. 68, Violet. Violet's nose was running and she didn't have a tissue. She wiped it on her sleeve, but it kept dripping. The government receptionist looked up, and Violet tried to smile at him. It came out feeling too manic, too desperate. She had to stay cool. Jennifer Government isn't available, the receptionist said. He was wearing a yellow tie. A security guard was sitting beside him. Violet could see his holster. But you can leave the package here. I'll see she gets it. Yo, can do, she said. Only Jennifer can sign for it. She's out of the country. Oh, Violet said, and wiped her nose. She was wearing a thick furry jacket with Speedy Courier's patch, and it was inflaming her allergies. Then I should deliver this to her home. Where's the address? I can't give you a home address, but, she wiped her nose, is there someone in Human Resources I can talk to about it? I can get someone for you, but they won't give you a home address. Violet felt her right hand start to shake. She shoved it into her pocket. I really have to deliver this package. Okay, the receptionist said. He called someone, and after a few minutes, a woman in a blue cardigan entered. Courier? Here, Violet said. I have to talk to you in private. All right, follow me. She led Violet down a long, dilapidated corridor and into an office. Violet couldn't believe this place. It looked like the set of an old TV cop show. Have a seat, thanks. I have a package to deliver to Jennifer Government. I need her home address. I'm sorry I can't give you that information. Are you sure? Violet said. The woman's computer was right there. It was very frustrating. I need an important package. It's a really important package, I'm sure. Violet glanced at the woman's nameplate. It said, Wendy, Human Resources. Well, okay, mind if I use the bathroom before I go? Sure, last door on your right before reception. She found it and pushed open the bathroom door. Inside, she removed her jacket, turned it inside out, and put it back on. Then she went back out and knocked on a random office door. Come in. She entered. A man with bushy eyebrows was sitting behind a crowded desk. His office was a poster of a rainforest on the wall and no window. Hi, I'm with IT. I'm here about your computer. The email problem? Yes. At last. I've been complaining for weeks. Sorry, we've been really backed up. He stood and Violet took his seat. She felt her nerves calm before in front of the screen. Its radiation like a warm bath. It took her 5 seconds to determine that this man wasn't in Human Resources and another 10 to find Randy's computer on the network. She pulled a disk out of her pocket and pushed it into the drive slot. What's that? New drivers, Violet said. It was a 600,000-word dictionary. It cracked Wendy's password, humanitarian, in about 2 seconds. She pulled up the HR database and typed in Jennifer. That's not even my email. The problem is when she said, standing. I'm going to need to reload the operating system. I'll be back with a CD. You don't even look at my email. You don't see the problem. I'll be 2 minutes, Violet said and left. She walked back to reception, forcing herself to looking straight ahead. She had one hand on the door when the receptionist said, Hey, she stopped. What is your jacket inside out? It was itching me, Violet said. She pushed it away outside. Jennifer's address was burned into her brain. Back at the apartment, she dumped the jacket and went to the kitchen. Her laptop was already set up on the bench. Now for the easy part. If Jennifer Government was overseas, her daughter might not be staying at home as she'd be at school, and Violet could find out where. Some people took care not to let their personal details leak onto the net, but government people, they didn't believe in privacy. She sniffed for Jennifer plus Government plus Kate plus North Melbourne School and got 800 hits. Almost all were schools, class projects, promotional sites, class lists. She got the list on 2 based on geography, then clicked on the first. It was titled Mattel Primary School, North Melbourne, Australian Territories, Class 3A, and offered a group photograph, class plans, and achievements for the year, plus links on each kid's individual page. Violet didn't understand why school still did this. It was like an invitation to pedophiles. She scanned the list. There was Kate Mattel, Starbucks General Motors, and Kate Mattel Government. Violet clicked. Kate had done a lot of work. There was a long story, a couple of scanned drawings, and a little animation of a running dog. Violet was impressed. At the bottom, Kate had written, I'm Kate Mattel, and I live in North Melbourne with my mom, Jennifer. She is a government agent. I don't have any brothers or sisters. When I grow up, I want to be a vet. Violet wrote down the school's address and shut down her notebook. She checked her watch. It might be too late to get to Mattel Primary School before they finished for the day. She bit her fingernails, thinking. She took her fingers out of her mouth and looked at them. The nails were broken and ragged. There was blood and torn skin under them. She leaned over and spat, but the taste wouldn't get out of her mouth. She didn't know what the courier girl had put up such a fight. Violet had only wanted her stupid jacket. People always had to make things difficult for Violet. They always had to screw her over. She spat again and again. When she was done, there was a sticky red pool on the kitchen floor. Violet stared at it. Now she would have to clean that up. 69 by. Hack called by a few minutes before 3. Hack was surprisingly trusting. He didn't have any use of the cover stories he'd invented. Just turn up at the Chadstone Nike Town this Friday at 6, Hack had said. You can help me with the Kens. Okay, but I said will do. He hung up and looked at his notepad. Nike Town. He felt nauseous even looking at the words. It would be better to get it over with. He checked the time and called John Nike in L.A., whose phone diverted to an assistant. John asked me to get some information on for him. Bye said, and recited the details. It's important. Please make sure he gets it. I will do that, sir, the assistant said. Bye hung up. Next he called Kato Mitsui. Kato was very pleased to hear from him. But this was most wonderful, Bye. You have done the work of great quality. I will proceed to make contact with John Nike immediately. This is the path to happiness. Oh, I hope so, Bye said. I foresee great things for you, my friend. I will be in touch. Thanks, he said. He put down the phone, feeling pleased. He hadn't had a work day this good since the incident. He waited in his Jeep until children began streaming out of the gates. Kate ran over and climbed into the passenger seat. Hi there, Bye said. Bye, guess what happened in school today? You learned about quadratic equations? He pulled away from the curb. Or was it a new Barbie? There is a new Barbie. How did you know that? But that's not the thing. They're having a parent day. A what? your mom or dad talks to the class about what they do. It's next week, I think. I have a note. Hopefully your mom will be back by then. I'm sure she will. Yeah, Kate said. I hope so. If she's not, will you go? He looked at her surprised. What? You can, go for me. Is that all right? Of course, Vi said. He felt his throat tighten. I would love to. They were sitting down to dinner when the phone rang and Kate leapt up. Vi winced. She had answered too many calls that weren't from Jennifer. Hurry back, he told her. He spread a napkin on his lap and picked up his fork. Molly, Kate said. Molly. He stared. Kate was in the kitchen. The phone pressed to her ear. Her smile enormous. Relief drenched him. Thank God, Vi thought. He put down his fork and listened to Kate talk about things people had said, movies she had seen, meals Vi had cooked. When she was done, she skipped into the dining room and handed him the phone. It's Mom. Thank you, he said. You are an excellent girl. Now eat your dinner. He raised the phone. Hello? Hiya. Her voice was surprisingly clear, as if she were right next to him. How's my babysitter? He felt a big, stupid smile break across his face. I'm so pleased to hear from you. I was worried. Oh, right, the shift. All right. In London. I just got to L.A. L.A. Why? I'm arresting a perp tomorrow, someone I've been after for a long time. Almost there, by then I'm coming home. How are you? He said, and realized the answer was happy. Things are good. Everything's good. How's work? Interesting. Suddenly I'm working with bigwigs from all these different companies. I think I like it. Great, Vi. That's really great. Yeah, he said. I can't wait to see you, though. Yeah, Jennifer said. And he got the impression there was someone else in the room with her. Ditto. So you'll be home soon before you know it. Excellent, he said. That is excellent. I gotta go, Jennifer said. He could hear her smiling. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Okay, miss you. Same here, she said, and put down the phone. That was why, Kate said. Yes, Vi said. They were both grinning like idiots. It was. They were early the next morning, so Vi parked and walked Kate to the school gate. A notice was posted about the upcoming parent day, and Vi paused to read it. A young woman, a girl really, stood by the gate. She smiled at him. Vi smiled back. Hi, she said. Going to parent day? Yes, I think so. Me too, Vi was surprised. She didn't even look old enough to have a kid in school. I'm a veterinarian. Oh, Kate said. I want to be a vet. No kidding, the girl said. She squatted to Kate's level. How about that? Do you give the animals special medicine? I sure do. I make everything better. Off you go, Kate. Vi told her. Straight to class. Oh, Kate said, then watched her go. Cute, the girl said. Her eyes were still on Kate. She's what, 7? 8. Such a great age, the girl said. I wish we could all stay like that, so we wouldn't have to find out what a-holes people are. Yeah, Vi said. I used to think I was cynical about people, but then I realized you can't be too cynical. People will do anything to get ahead. They'll do terrible things. He looked at her. That is true. He stuck out his hand. I'm Vi. She smiled. Violet. They shook hands. I guess we have a bit in common. I guess we do, Vi said and laughed. So did John. John woke to a dark hotel room. It was 5 a.m. and the phone was ringing. He fumbled for it in the darkness. If this was that a-hole stockbroker from Australia again, John was going to kill him. John Nike. Hello, John. Who is this? Don't be coy, John. You know who I am. No wonder it took him a few moments. The man sounded as if he were talking through a mouthful of gravel. But then why did he expect that it was a miracle he was alive at all? John, he said, is that you, Buddy? By the time he got to work, John was feeling pretty good, and there wasn't anything a woman in the ankle-length skirt and brown glasses could do about it. He walked deliberately fast, forcing her to hurry alongside him. As he crossed the lobby, they saw people's heads turning. Look, it's John. There's John Nike. If you'll just look at the report, the Johnson & Johnson liaison said. Please, John, look at it. Public opinion is against any aggressive move, firmly against it. They reached the elevator. He pushed for up. That's because our advertising hasn't kicked in yet. No, John, it's not. People don't want us to use military force against either the government or our competitors. They say we must not attack. Who said I was going to attack anybody? John said, thinking for the Pepsi kid. The young woman with the long legs and U.S. Alliance name tag ran up and asked him to sign her arm. He did, flashing her a grin. Her face lit up with admiration. The woman with brown glasses followed him into the elevator. She was unstoppable. John, if you continue down this path, there will be resignations. Nobody wants this to turn to a military conflict. You know what? John said. The door's open on his floor. It's too late. Let them resign. I have an NRA, and I'm going to use it however I see fit. But, all right, he said. This is the part where I go into my office and you go away. He closed the glass door. His PA handed him a sheaf of messages. I'll be taking this up with Alphonse, the woman shouted. He could hardly hear her through the glass. Good morning, John, the PA said. Yes, he said, isn't it? He read the messages on his way to his desk. The top one was from someone called Bai Mitsui. John had a vague recollection of some junior executive calling for offer help, but that described about 20 people John had dealt with recently ever since his career-saving speech. Every Shanshu liaison in the Alliance had fallen over themselves to build favor with him. He read the message. Suddenly he remembered Bai was the a-hole stockbroker. John had asked him to check out who was behind the McDonald's attack. He saw the words, Hack Nike. John roared with laughter. His PI glanced at him, then away. John laughed into his stomach hurt. He made some calls to set wheels in motion, important wheels, very important wheels, before his appointment with General Lee. Lee was the first in a long line of daily meetings for John. After him was the liaison for the News Corporation. There had been a few articles in the newspapers lately that weren't as pro-NRA as John would have liked. "Good morning." Lee had a way of sneaking up on you. To the phone he said, "Be there at 6. He hung up. "Good work on security, Lee. How many guys do you have out there?" "On front, 15. The escort last night was terrific, too. 3 cars, right?" "4, plus a chopper." "I almost want the government to try to arrest me." "I'm glad you're pleased," Lee said, "because there is another less pleasant matter I must bring to your attention. I'm afraid you won't want to hear it out. On your instructions, we attempted to acquire Bailey NRA upon his arrival at LAX. Unfortunately, given the time pressure, we were unable to. He got away." "Yes. Did you plug any agents?" Lee blinked. "Any government? No." He said, "A pity." "You're lucky, Lee. I'm in a good mood today." "I'm pleased to hear that, sir. I've taken a few precautions of my own. You must keep the government out of this building, and we'll stay friends." "Understood, sir." The intercom buzzed. "Johns, you have at 11 o'clock to review some advertising. I'm with Lee. Tell them I can't make it." You skipped the last one, remember? You said they approved the worst campaign you'd seen since AOL. You told me to never let you—" Right, John said. "Fine, I'll go." Lee said, "What about our military build-up? We haven't yet finalized our rules of engagement." He put his hands on Lee's shoulders. "You know what I want. You've got the firepower. Go nuts." "John, TA may be militarizing faster than we anticipated. If they move against us, I need to know if I'm authorized to." "Lee," John said, "you're a smart guy. Use your own judgment, okay?" Lee strained. "Understood, sir." "Good man." John bounced out of the room. Everything was coming together. 71. Jennifer. Max had done well for himself since mayor. The Synergy building was large and well located, even close enough to the media companies to share the same restaurants. The lobby was large and modern. Jennifer said, "Hi, I know who you are," the receptionist said, smiling. "Oh," she said. Max was in the lobby and kissing her cheeks within a minute and a half. "Barbie doll, it's super nice to see you again. I cannot tell you how happy I am that you called." His grin was huge. He held on to her, both of her hands. "Well, you can take the girl out of advertising," she said, and they laughed, and she got her hands back. "The U.S. Alliance briefing is at 11. I don't want to pressure you, but it would be unbelievable if you would come along." "I'd love to. You're fantastic," he said. "I could kiss you." "Let's not get carried away," she said. They laughed again. "Wait until our clients see you. They will flip." "They might," Jennifer said. "Our campaign plays up to the local angle on U.S. Alliance," Max said in a cab. "As you might have noticed, I don't like to brag, but the U.S. Alliance has a higher share of subscribers in L.A. than any other major market." "Wow," she said. "I know," he said. "I know. So who's going to be at this meeting?" "A few U.S. Alliance people, a couple of liaisons." The cab pulled over. The windows darkened with NRA bodies. "The main guy is John Nike. You must have heard of him." The cab doors popped open. "IDs," a soldier said, and another said, "Please spread your arms and legs." "Morning, fellas," Max said. "We have at 11 o'clock. We've been cleared." Jennifer's ID was fresh from printing. It said Jennifer Synergy. An NRA man eyed it with her equal impassivity. Another soldier began patting her down, his hands fast and professional. "Hey," she said, "watch it." "Gun," he shouted. Suddenly there were a lot of NRA rifles pointed at her. There had been far too many NRA rifles pointed at Jennifer lately. "Hey, whoa," Max said. "Jen, U.S. Alliance are very twitchy on security. Give them your gun." "Oh, sure, no problem." She handed it over. The NRA guys didn't look happy, but they stopped aiming guns at her. Max looked her arm as they entered the lobby. "I should have mentioned that earlier," Max said. "I didn't know you carried a gun." "Doesn't everybody? Not to business meetings, Malibu," he laughed. "You know?" "Right," she said. "I guess I forgot about it." An assistant escorted them to a meeting room, and Max spent 10 minutes fiddling with his laptop computer, trying to set up a slideshow. Then U.S. Alliance people began wandering, and Jennifer had to make a conversation about audience hits and reach figures. It was surprisingly easy. Almost everyone had heard of her, or at least her campaigns. She felt a little surreal. She felt as if she'd never left advertising. "The 96 Pepsi, right?" a woman said, her eyes wide with awe. "That was a totally groundbreaking campaign. I can't believe you did that." "Only the best talent for my clients," Max said. One of the suits was studying her silently. She knew that was coming before he opened his mouth. "You must know John Nike, then. He worked at Mayor around the same time." Everybody looked at her. "John," she said. "Yeah, we worked together." "Wow, he'll just die when he sees you," the woman said. She looked at her watch. "He should be along any minute. We can talk about old times," she said. Everybody laughed except Max. Max was not looking so happy. "Jennifer, can I get your assistance here a second?" "Sure." He waited until she was hovering over the computer with him. "I didn't realize that. I never worked with him." "John Nike is John Mayer?" "Uh-huh. But isn't John my ex?" she said. "Yep, he is." "Okay," a voice said from the doorway. "Let's see how much money you clowns have managed to waste this week." She turned. He looked the same as 9 years ago. She suspected he'd flirted with surgery. His eyes swept the room, then jerked back to her. His mouth dropped. "Hi, honey," she said. Part 6. 72. Disintegration. Billy was starting to suspect that whatever Jennifer and Calvin were doing with him, it wasn't official. He'd had plenty of time to think about it, stuck in the hotel room, and the longer he sat there, the more convinced he was that it wasn't government protocol to handcuff suspects to refrigerators. Jennifer had left early that morning, dressed up in a suit and heels, looking very much unlike a government agent. Billy had no idea what that was about. Calvin hung around until 9, then went out for a newspaper. "Come on, dude," Billy said. "Please not the minibar. Let it take me with you." Calvin got out the handcuffs, hands on the white goods. When he was gone, Billy kicked it in frustration. Then he made an interesting discovery. It wasn't fastened to anything. It was heavy, sure, but he managed to get to his feet and stagger around the hotel room with it. The bottles of liquor inside knocked and crashed against each other. He put the minibar down and started to unload it, then changed his mind. He might want those later. He arranged his jacket as best he could and checked himself in the mirror. He still looked like a man trying to hide all the small refrigerator. Well, he would just have to do his best. Billy lurched out the door and toward the elevators. Thinking carefully, he rode all the way to the car park. No way would he make it through the lobby like this. He was congratulating himself on his ingenuity when he saw the driveway attendant. Billy stopped, unsure what to do. The attendant saw him. He picked up a walkie-talkie and spoke into it. Billy broke into a lumbering run. Two Sotel security guys caught him before he could make it half the block. Billy was drenched with sweat. His legs were like rubber. His breath was coming in great gasps. The security guys stared at him. One said, "I thought George must be kidding." "I've seen people steal a lot of stuff," the other said, "but this takes the cake." "I've handcuffed to it," Billy said. Then he realized he should just shut his mouth. They made him sit in the lobby and wait for Calvin to come back. Billy had a feeling that Calvin was going to be happy with them. He was right about that, at least. "You know," Calvin said, "being cuffed to the minibar is a privilege. I could have left you in the bathroom." "I know," Billy said. "I'm sorry." "They're ejecting us from the hotel. Did you hear that?" Calvin sat on the bed and stared at him. "I'm really sorry. Now I'm going to have to take you with me." "Yeah, where are we going?" Calvin didn't say anything. Billy didn't take that as a good sign. He was starting to think he should have stayed in his room. They caught a cab downtown and got out at a large open shopping plaza. It was directly opposite a big U.S. Alliance tower, and out from a lot of NRA soldiers with helmets and automatic weapons were hanging around. Calvin," Billy said, "this isn't such a good idea." "So stick close," Calvin said. He led Billy to a plastic table surrounded by fast food joints, including a McDonald's on one side and a Burger King on the other. "You want some lunch?" "Yeah, sure. How about I can see you gentlemen are in need of some refreshment," a man said. "Would you like some coupons for McDonald's? Buy one, get one free." "Okay," Billy said. Wait a second," someone else said. Billy saw a girl, also bristling with coupon books. "You don't want to eat at McDonald's. They rape the environment, didn't you know? Here, have a coupon for Burger King." "Sure, thanks," he smiled at the girl. "I don't want to spread rumors," the man said, "but I've seen that Burger King kitchen. It's filthy. I wouldn't want to eat there. That's a crock of crap," the girl said. "At least Burger King doesn't have traces of dog in its, quote, all beef patties, unquote. That was one store in New York. Look, we've got your coupons." Calvin said, "Now go away, both of you." The man and the girl left. "Oh," Billy said, "she was cute. I can't answer my phone at the right without some telemarketer trying to sell me something," Calvin said. "Now I can't sit down to lunch." They were just giving away coupons. "Fine," Calvin said, "so get some McDonald's." Billy looked at the Burger King girl. She was handing a coupon to an elderly couple. She saw him and winked. "How about BK? I have a U.S. Alliance car. I can get points from McDonald's." "Dude," Billy said, "I thought government people were trying to stop that crap." "All right then," Calvin said, "get Burger King." "Keep your pants on." He held out his hand. Calvin dug into his pockets. "So Jim was wearing some outfit this morning. I never knew she had such legs. What's she up to?" "None of your business," Calvin said, but he glanced at the U.S. Alliance building, and that told Billy plain. "Go get some food. I'll be watching you." Billy trotted over to the line for Burger King and waited. The coupon girl was circling the square. Billy hoped she saw him there. "What's this?" a voice said. 5 or 6 teenage boys were approaching the store, all bagged clothes and tattoos. "What's the matter? You people don't know where you are? This is in Alliance Town. We don't need no TA companies." Nobody spoke. Billy saw that their tattoos weren't ordinary designs. They were logos. He saw a lot of Nike swooshes and NRA designs. The leader had a U.S. Alliance logo on his shaved head. "Go on, get lost. Go spend your money on a good company, not these foreigners." Hey, the coupon girl said. She walked up to a skinhead. "Take it somewhere else, okay? Trying to earn a living here." "Earn it somewhere else, carpetbagger," the kid said, and pushed her. She stumbled into Billy. He caught and steadied her, which was pretty good luck for Belly Billy. He lifted his head until the skin said something appropriate. "You want to push somebody, push me," something like that, but the kid was already in his face. "You got something to say to me?" the kid said. The other punks were gathering around. Customers quietly left on line. "You better be open your mouth or tell me you're a UA man." "Just keep your hands off her. Which is it? Who you with, man? Nicky D's or BK's? It's got to be one or the other. Who you with?" "I'm just buying some burgers," Billy said. "Come on, man. You don't need to. U.S. Alliance sucks." the Kumon girl said, and everything fell apart from there. 73 Vantage. Violet walked away from the school gate until Bai had driven away. When she turned around and walked back, Kate was already a long way up the path about to enter a building. "Hey, Kate," Violet shouted. But Kate didn't turn. "Crap," Violet said. She entered the school. The other children looked at her curiously. She smiled back at him. The guard caught her as she stepped into the building. "Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave school grounds." "Oh," Violet said, startled. "Hi, I'm just—" She craned her neck. She could see Kate through the glass of one of the classrooms. "My daughter forgot her lunch money. I'm sorry, ma'am. You can't be on these grounds. But she's right there. I'll just give her the money and go." The guard was much taller than her. She smiled and tried to look harmless. "Well, be quick now," the guard said, and Violet hurried past him. In the classroom, Kate was unpacking her bag alone. She looked up as Violet entered. "Hi, Kate. Hi. I need you to come with me now. It's very important." "Okay, where?" "To the vet hospital. You want to come and help some sick animals with me?" Kate said. "No, thanks." "Sure you do," Violet said. "You like vets, right? So let's go. I want to stay here." "Yeah, well," she said, "you're coming." She put her hand on Kate's arm. "Let go of me." Violet tugged her. Kate screamed. Violet tried to cover her mouth. Kate bit her fingers. "Ow!" Violet yelled. She snatched back her hand and snapped Kate across the face. Kate fell out of the desk and started crawling across the floor. Violet snared her ankles and pulled her back. "Come here." She heard the door open. The guard. "What's going on?" "She's having a seizure," Violet said. "Help, quick." The guard kneeled beside her. Kate was twisting and shrieking like a wild cat. "Why is she bleeding?" the guard said, and Violet pulled out her gun. Well, John's gun, really, and pressed it to his head. "Okay," she said. "Now you lie down and don't move for a while." She looked at Kate. "Are you ready to be a good girl for me?" Kate nodded. Her teeth were chattering. That was weird. "It was about 80 degrees in here." "Good, because if you try to run, I'll have to hurt you, okay?" Kate whimpered. "I'll take that as a yes," Violet said. She pulled Kate out of the classroom. The guard didn't make a sound. Violet felt relieved. That was the hard part done. Now she just had to collect her money. She had a good feeling about this. They caught a cab back to Violet's apartment, and she led Kate to the kitchen. "You hungry? You want something to eat?" The phone was ringing. She picked it up. "Hello? Is that Violet?" "John," she said, pleased. "I was just going to call you. Do you have Kate?" "I do. Want to talk to her?" "I know that's not necessary." "Okay," Violet said. "You'll be pleased to know I kept my end of the deal. I have your money." Her heart leapt. "Already? How? What did you do to Holly?" "I was very persuasive," John said. Violet's heart thrilled. She wanted details. She wanted to hear all about it. "Got a pen and paper? I'm going to tell you where to make the swap." She wrote down the address. "A Nike Town store? It's nice and public. Make sure there won't be any funny business." "Oh, okay, good idea," John said, but she thought he might be talking to someone else. "Be there at 6. The phone clicked. Violet put down the handset, exalted. She had done it. She felt dazzled by her victory. She thought about Holly T.A. in the limousine, telling her, "You've got a lot to learn about how the world works." Well, that just showed how much Holly knew. People were always underestimating Violet. She reached for the phone. She was going to gloat a little. Holly would be in New York, of course. Violet got the TA number from the directory assistants. She didn't know what time it was there, but someone answered the phone and switched her through to someone else. "Holly T.A.'s office. How can I help you?" "It's Violet X on mobile. I want to speak to Holly." "Just a second, ma'am." Violet waited, trembling. This was so exciting. "I'm afraid Holly isn't available. I can take a message if you like." She blinked. "Did you tell her it was me?" "I'm afraid Holly doesn't recall you, ma'am." "What?" "Miss Holly deals with many people, ma'am. Please don't be offended." "Get that bee on the phone," Violet said. "I sat next to her at the London conference. I just got $3 million out of her. You get her on the phone." "Please stay calm, ma'am." "I am calm," she shouted. "For me, this is fair enough and calm." "I'll just a second, please." There was a click, and Violet was listening to Muzak. Holly must be pretending, surely. She must be too stung to talk. The phone clicked again. "Okay," Holly said. "What's up?" "Huh," Violet said. "It's me." "Yes, yes, Violet, at the $3 million invoice. What about it?" This wasn't going how she expected. "I got it. I got paid." "Did you now?" Holly said. "Well, good for you." Violet opened her mouth to say, "I got it from you," but that wasn't true, was it? Holly wasn't playing with her. Holly hadn't been approached by John Nike at all. Violet put down the phone. Kate was still sniffling. She kept looking at Violet, then away. "Something fishy's going on," Violet sighed slowly. "Someone's trying to screw me." Maybe John was going to pay her $3 million out of his own pocket. That was possible. But it was also possible that he was planning a nasty surprise for her at the Nike Town. That was very possible. She checked her pocket. She still had the gun. "Funny business," Violet muttered. There would be some funny business, all right. She took hold of Kate's arm. It was time to go shopping. 74 Assault. Hack hadn't been to the Chadstone Walmart Mall for years, and it seemed to have grown in his absence, sprouting additional shops and food courts. The parking lot was jammed, and the bus took a long time to fight its way through. He looked at his watch, impatient. Claire would be waiting. The bus wheezed to a halt, and Hack disembarked into a mass of people, shouting and pushing and clutching bags of merchandise. Hack hadn't seen anything like it since the January sales. He forged his way to the mall's entrance and found a map which said Nike Town was on level 4. Hack walked to the escalator, past a raffle for a BMW convertible, and rode up. His bag was much heavier than it had been for McDonald's. He took the opportunity to rest in a second. Claire was outside the border store, wearing Jackie O sunglasses. She smiled when she saw him. Hack touched her hands. "How are you?" "Last one, Hack." "Yes," he said, "last one." They entered the store. Rows of carefully lit shoes adorned the walls. There was a row of chairs in the center, rock music pumping out of the speakers, the counter at the back. Hack put his bag down on one of the seats and began unzipping it. "Can I help you?" a clerk said. "Yes," Claire said. She pulled a pistol from her coat and pointed it at him. They had planned fake guns, but it turned out to be easier to get real ones and not load them. "You can run." "Everybody out of the store," Hack shouted. "Nike's going down. You don't want to be here." He pulled a paint tin from his bag and pried the lid off with a screwdriver. The smell was awful. "Nike kills children," Claire said. Hack had written her speech. He was pretty pleased with it. They paid substandard wages in non-USA countries and sell shoes at inflated prices. One of their factories in China burned down and killed 58 workers. They make huge profits but screw over their own employees in performance evaluations. Their Mercury's campaign killed 14 children, including one girl right here in the store. But the customers just stood there like at the McDonald's. People were stupid, Hack realized. You couldn't make anything too simple for them. So he heaved. His tins were filled with blood and offal, courtesy of a visit to a butcher's this morning. The mess burst against the wall. It was almost too authentic. The light bulb above a pair of sneakers blew, spraying sparks. "People before profits," Hack shouted. The clerk had split, but customers were still standing around. "What's the matter with you people? Is this like promotion?" a kid said. "No," Hack said. "It's a protest. Nike is a murderer." He grabbed another tin from his bag, but it slipped out of his hands and hit the floor. The lid popped off. Offal splattered his pants. "Oh, crap. Are you going to be giving away shoes?" "It must be a new product line," another kid said. His eyes widened. "Is it like Nike Murderers? Is that it?" "Oh, that would be so cool," the other kid said. "No," Hack said, outraged. "This isn't a promotion." "Throw some more blood, dude," the kid said. "Am I wearing a Nike sweatsuit?" Hack demanded. "Do you see any logos on me?" He's right, man," the other kid said. "He ain't wearing logos." They looked at Hack nervously. "Out!" Hack yelled. And they ran. One grabbed a pair of sneakers on his way out. Hack felt disgusted before remembering he was planning to do that himself. "Let me help you with those tins," Claire said. "Let's get this done and get out." "Okay," he said. Their hands touched as they reached for the same can of blood. They smiled at each other. "Hey," someone said. "What's going on?" Hack breathed. Some people really were learners. He turned. But it wasn't one of the kids. "Violet? Hack, what are you doing here?" She was leading a kid by the arm, a girl of about 8 or 9. "What are you doing?" "Are you doing the swap?" "Swap, Violet? If you're following me around, hold it," she said. "Are you John Nike's contract or not?" Hack opened his mouth to reply. A man entered the store behind Violet. His face was distorted like a melted wax sculpture. A line of thick black stitches marched from one ear to the middle of his forehead. His hair was gone, but Hack recognized him anyway. "No," the John said. "I am 75, threat." "Gark," John Nike said, or something similar. "Hey now," Jennifer said. "You don't seem pleased to see me at all." He turned and fled. She took off after him. Max Synergy and the U.S. Alliance suits just stood there. This, she discovered, was a common thread to the next 4.5 minutes. Office workers standing around gaping while she and John zipped past them. John was screaming for the NRA or security or anyone with a gun, please. But there was not a lot of action from the suits and skirts at U.S. Alliance. Companies claimed to be highly responsive, Jennifer thought, but only had a chance to chase the screaming men through their offices to realize it wasn't true. John tried to catch an elevator, but she was closing on him, so he ran up the stairs instead. He gained a little ground by pushing a woman with a stack of files into her path, but only a little, and the more floors they climbed, the more her regular gym workouts and John's regular big lurches became evident. He was gasping and wheezing at the 29th, and her fingers closed on his jacket. He wriggled free and burst out of the stairwell. She followed and found herself in an enormous boardroom. 2 walls were glass. The view over the LA was incredible. John was flat against a pane as if you were trying to squeeze through it. It was, she realized, a lot like a room in which she told John about her pregnancy 8 years ago when they both worked for Mayor. She hoped he'd notice the symmetry. "Get away from me, you stay back." "Sorry, chum," she said. "Can't do that." "Where's the effing NRA?" he screamed. And that she couldn't answer. Wait a second. Stop, or Kate will regret it." Jennifer stopped. "What? Talked to your daughter recently?" "John," she said. "You don't want to give me any extra reason to be peeved at you. You really don't. You better call home. Your daughter's been missing since this morning. You're a lying piece of crap." Her voice trembled. "How dare you say something like that? You think I'm kidding?" He sprayed spittle. "You think I'd wait for you to come for me without taking steps to protect myself? You think I'd believe you'd give up? You think I'd be unprepared?" She hesitated. He saw and his eyes brightened. "You know me, Jen. Am I the sort of guy to take half measures?" There was a phone on the counter. "Go on, call home. Find out for yourself." She took a deep, steadying breath. "If you're lying, I'm going to beat the crap out of you. Do I look worried?" She walked over to the phone and dialed Bai's cell phone. "And if you're not lying, I'm going to kill you." His smile flickered. It only rang once. She heard Bai's voice. It was anxious and strained. "Hello? It's me. Oh, Jen, I'm so sorry." She put down the handset. "So," John said, Now we understand each other. She started walking toward him. Aha, not a good idea, Jen. Not smart. You want to hold it right there. Jennifer stopped. Her hands were shaking. She is your daughter. Oh, please, John said. I made this very clear 8 years ago. I never wanted a kid. You wanted it. I couldn't stop you. I couldn't do a GD thing to stop you. So fine, you had a kid. But don't think you can turn me into a father. The elevator dinged behind her. At last, John said. Look, what took you a-hole so long? She felt her rough hands seize her arms. Sorry, sir, there's a disturbance out front. We responded as soon as... Not good enough. I was speaking to Lee. Sir, what would you like us to do with... Take her somewhere, John said, and shoot her in the head. The soldier said nothing. You have a problem with that? Sir, I'm not sure you can authorize me to do that. I effing can, John shouted. Don't make me take this to Lee. Yes, sir, the soldier said. Jennifer could barely see him. She was starting to cry. She let herself be dragged. The 2 NRA soldiers took her down the stairwell. She felt as if she were shaking apart. She wanted to catch the first flight back to Melbourne and hunt down John and kill him both at once. But she couldn't do both. She couldn't do either. Halfway down, one of the soldiers' radios said something and he spoke into it. Then he looked at his companion. They want us out front. It's getting worse. What about her? I don't know. Nobody said anything for a moment. Jennifer waited for them to decide whether they were going to kill her. I mean, if they want us out front, that's an NRA order. That takes precedence over what Nike wants, does it? Crap, I don't know, the soldier said. But I'll tell you right now, I don't want to shoot this woman in the head. That's just wrong. Suddenly, Jennifer's cell phone rang. Her nerves were so frayed that she jumped. What's that? It's my phone, she said. Well, you get that, the soldier said. We need to discuss the situation. She answered the phone. It was Bai. She could hear the pain in his voice. They spoke briefly but usefully. Then Bai had to go. She closed her phone and looked at the soldiers. Okay, the first one said. We're going to reinforce the front entrance. You're coming with us. Then what you do is up to you. Thank you, she said. Her voice broke. Don't thank us yet, he said. You don't know what's going on up there. '76. Divestiture. Bai left Mitsui late, but the traffic was light and he arrived at Mattel Primary School on time. Normally he had to double park or leave his car around the block, but today the street was almost empty. That was weird. Children should have been dribbling out the gates, parents jamming the street. He got out and walked down the school path and the administration building. 6 people were conferring on the other side of the counter. He saw government IDs. Help you, a woman said. I'm here to pick up Kate, Bai said. What's going on? The woman's hand rose to her mouth. Suddenly everybody was looking at him. What? Bai said. Sir, an agent said. Would you like to take a seat? Where's Kate? Our security didn't slip up, the woman said. I want you to know that. A guard did try to stop her. There's nothing wrong with our security. Stop who? Bai said. But he already knew the answer was thickening in the air. So there's been a kidnapping. But who is kidnapped? Then a loud rushing sound filled his head and fluorescent lights like blurred comets passed through his field of vision. They made him coffee, but his hands wouldn't stop trembling. The agents spoke on their phones and asked him questions. With each one, Bai felt himself forced into a new reality where Kate was missing and it was all his fault. You're already under investigation, one of the agents told him, covering his cell phone. The Nike Town shootings? You were interviewed by the field agents, Jennifer and Calvin. I was at the mall that night, Bai said. That's all. I tried to help the girl who was shot, Haley McDonald's. The agents exchanged a glance. She was a relation of yours, a friend? I just tried to help her. Why is this important? Now another girl you're associated with is missing, an agent said. So what? Sir, can you tell us your movements this morning? I dropped Kate. I drove to work. Is there anyone who can confirm you left the school grounds? But why? You think I took her? Settle down, Mr. Mitsui, an agent said. Is there anyone who can confirm you left the school grounds? Yes, I spoke to another parent. She would have seen me. Her name was Violet. I didn't get her surname, but she works as a veterinarian. Can you describe the one for me? Young, short brown hair. She was wearing a green parka. The agents exchanged a glance. Sir, that fits the description of the kidnapper. What? How is that? We're going to need you to accompany us to the station. No, he said, rising. I have to look for her. Sit down now. Everyone was looking at him. You must be pretty angry with the government after they let that girl die at Chadstone, the other agent said. Maybe you thought you'd get even by snatching a government kid. No, but you admit you had prior contact with a kidnapper. The cell phone rang. Everyone stopped. Answer it, an agent said. Maybe it's your little friend. Bai pulled it free. The display was no number he recognized. Hello, it's me, Jennifer said. Oh, Jen. He didn't know what to say. Jen, I'm so sorry. He heard his voice break. Is that Jen Government? The agent said. Give me that. He took the phone out of Bai's hands. Hello, hello? He looked at Bai accusingly. There's no one here. You must have pushed something. I didn't push anything. Call that number back, the other agent said. Good idea. The agent pushed buttons. Then his expression changed. He handed the phone back to Bai. What? Bai said. He put it to his ear. Jennifer, the phone said. Sir, U.S. Island switchboard. Can I help you? But that makes no sense. Jennifer Government. My butt, the agent said. He detached his cuffs and reached for Bai's wrists. Don't make this difficult. Bai made no conscious decision to run. It just happened. He turned and took 3 steps, and only then did he realize, I'm fleeing the government. The office door was mostly glass, and then he made a decision. Wyatt had an accident with his younger sister when they were kids, so he knew how this worked. He flung the door closed behind him and heard the agent go through it. By the time they were clearing the school grounds, Vi was inside the Jeep. "Stop!" they shouted. Vi saw guns. He didn't think government agents were allowed to shoot him just to stop him fleeing. But they looked pretty peed off, so he floored the accelerator and swung onto traffic. There were horns and screaming tires. A sedan passed by his door so closely he couldn't believe they didn't collide. Then he was roaring away from Kate's school. He found a leafy side street and parked. He had Jennifer's cell phone number. It rang forever, then she picked up. "It's me. How did this happen?" Her voice broke his heart. She sounded destroyed. "I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't know. Listen to me. It all depends on you now. I can't touch John Nike while he asks Kate. I need you now." "Wait," he said. "John Nike? John Nike is the criminal I'm chasing, but that's not important. What's important is—" "No," he croaked. I'm working for John." "What?" "He's a liaison in U.S. Islands, and I'm an assistant liaison." "Oh, crap," she said. "Oh, crap. What have you done for him?" "He asked me to find some people in Melbourne, some protesters." "Who?" Hack Nike, a girl, I think her name." "Hack, yes, it's him. I saw the kidnapper. It was a girl, Violet. That's Hack's girlfriend. I can find out where Hack lives." "No, that's okay." He felt lightheaded. He felt sick. "I know where Hack is. 77, Emancipation." "Hey, wow," Violet said. "You're okay. I'm so pleased. You left me on your kitchen floor," John said. There was some kind of emotion on his face, but it was hard for Violet to tell what it was. "You left me looking like this." "You look great to me. I don't know what you're talking about," Violet said. She backed away, dragging Kate until her heels hit the wall. John reached out and wrapped a hand around her neck. It was becoming clear to Violet that John was not here to deliver her $3 million. Paraxaby, isn't it? "Hey," Claire said. Claire had hit herself a gun Violet saw and was pointing it at John. She had never felt so relieved, although that didn't seem like the Claire she knew. Everyone had been changing in Violet's absence. "That's enough. Shoot him," Violet said. "Do it, Claire." John's eyes didn't leave Violet. "Why don't you take a hike?" "All right," Hack said. He took Claire's hand. "No, you a-hole," John said. "You have business with." "We are leaving the store," Claire said. Her voice shook. So did the gun in her hand. "And Violet's coming with us," John said. "Little lady, you've got a lot—" For the first time his eyes flicked away. Violet took the opportunity to plant her right knee in his nuts. John dropped to the ground as if she'd shot him. "Ha! Take that!" She went to kick him and he grabbed at her pants. Violet screamed. It was just like back at the apartment. She flailed and tore at him. John's grip gave way before she was free, running toward Hack. She was leaving Kate behind, but that was too bad. Kate was no longer Violet's top concern. There was a door at the rear marked "Staff Only," and she yanked it open. "Hack, come on!" Hack ran, pulling Claire with him. Violet slammed the door as soon as they were through it. It was pitch black inside. She groped for something resembling a door lock. "What's going on?" Hack said. "Hold the door handle." "What?" "Hold the door handle. I can't find the lock." "Oh, crap," Hack said, and John hit the door from the other side. Someone screamed and it might have been her. "Where's the lock?" "I don't know. I can't see. The door rattled." I'm losing it. Find the lock." "Lock the effing door," Claire shouted. Violet found a bolt and slid it across. John hit the door again. She sagged in relief. "You did it," Hack's voice sounded warm. "Thank God." "Yeah," she said. She suddenly thought, was Hack hitting on her? Yes, she thought, he was. Hack had dallied with Claire. Was shy, quiet Claire. But Claire wasn't enough for him. Hack needed someone like Violet, who could take charge of him. She told him that 1,000 times. "Isn't it funny how we should meet again? It's like fate." "Where's the light switch?" Claire said. Hack said. "I guess, yeah." She found his arm in the darkness and squeezed. "We should go somewhere and catch up." The light flicked on. Claire was standing next to a switch. The room was filled with shelves and boxes. "Hey," Violet said. "Well done, Beanpole." "Violet," John said through the door. "Can you hear me? I think we all got mixed up. I'm here to do the trade. I've got your money. I'll leave it on the desk, all right?" She bit her lip. "I wonder if he really has my money." Hack said. "Violet, this guy's not here to do you any favors." She said. "You're right. Let's get out of here." There was an exit at the rear, leading to a dark stairwell. Halfway down, Hack said. "Violet, yeah. Who was that little girl with you?" "Oh," she said. "No one." They exited on the ground floor between a Disney store and the Starbucks. The mall was so packed with shoppers that the air felt hot and humid. It was hard to breathe. Violet's mind was racing. There was some good look reuniting with Hack. She wanted to capitalize on it. "Let's go back up." She tucked her gun from her pocket. "Let's get John." Hack said. "Violet, I think we should just get out of here." "I should have shot him through the door," she said. She felt like an idiot. "Why didn't I shoot him through the door?" Hack and Claire were staring at her. "What? Are you nuts?" "Hey," Violet said, stung. "You don't know what I've been through. I'm just trying to get what's mine. If I have to shoot someone, I'll do it." But Hack was looking at her as if he had never seen her before. Claire was standing there, letting it all happen. Violet realized she'd gone too far. She decided to tear up. "Hack, it's been so hard," she clutched at his shirt. "I only wanted to get ahead, but everyone kept screaming. I'm sorry I hurt people. Forgive me. Don't touch me. You need help. Seriously." "Why, you little crap?" she started. But that was as far as she got. There was a man in the crowd and his eyes were locked onto hers. He looked familiar. When his face darkened and he began to move toward her, she remembered. She met him this morning at Kate's school. His name was By. "Uh-oh," she said. 78 Hoopers. When the NRA took Jennifer away, John sank to the carpet. He closed his eyes and pressed his face against the glass. Then he started laughing. At first it was a snigger, then it ballooned out of control. He screamed with laughter. He felt tears streaming down his face. The funny thing was Jennifer's face. She thought she had him. She thought she was about to exact righteous vengeance. Then, bam, he had her. It was classic. It was the way people like John had got ahead in life, and people like Jennifer took government jobs. He stayed there for too long. Then the glass against his cheek trembled. He sat up, startled. The entire building vibrated. Then it stopped. John waited. There was a booming, rolling crump. The building shook again, harder. John bit his lip. He had a feeling that he knew what that might have been. That might have been General Lee using his own judgment. The elevator doors dinged. John, he turned. It was the Pepsi Kid looking somber. John, you need to come with me. It's important. Did you just feel that? Come on, this is serious. Are we being attacked? Is it team advantage? I need to see General Lee. They entered the elevator. That's where I'm taking you. You're a good kid, John said. You've stuck with me from the beginning. I won't forget that. Yeah, thanks, the kid said. You have what, some kind of disturbance up here? A domestic dispute, he grinned. Then he saw where the elevator was headed. Where are we going? That's Alphonse's floor. That's where Lee is. Wait, John said, panicked. What's going on? What did... The doors opened. The area was packed with liaisons. Heads turned. Conversation died. Alphonse was standing in the middle of the room. General Lee was with him, his beret in his hands. What the H? John said. John, Alphonse said, are you aware of what's going on outside? What's happening? Alphonse looked at Lee. Lee said, John explicitly authorized me to use any and all resources at my disposal to respond to enemy assaults. What the F is happening? You have done precisely what I forbade you to do, Alphonse said. You have involved us in further military action. This must end immediately. It is not a profitable environment for business. Okay, wait. This was going to require another speech, John realized. Yes, okay, a few people will get killed. Change is always messy, but let me be clear. We are going to be the winners in this new world. Without the government, we could eliminate team advantage. Without team advantage, we have no competition. That's worth a little conflict. This is all just aggressive competition within a free market. He looked around. There didn't seem to be many nodding heads. This isn't freedom, John. It's anarchy. Well, John said, if you're going to split hairs, there's been a vote. He froze. Excuse me? The member companies have decided that an unregulated market does not serve our interests. We have already begun a dialogue with the government. Who? Which companies? Because fine, let them go. We don't need those. Most of them. Oh, he swallowed. I see. Alphonse said, we will, of course, be disavowing any responsibility for damage caused by your actions. Of course. He could feel the hysteria rising in his throat. Sure, go ahead, paint me as the bad guy. Security will escort you out of the building. I have a right to be here. I'm the Nike liaison. No, John, you're not. He turned. Gregory Nike was against the wall. John hadn't seen him. Well, John said, isn't this sweet? He turned to the liaisons. Who's with me? Who wants to keep up the fight? We can start our own loyalty program. We can finish what we started. Who's with me? Suddenly a lot of liaisons were frowning at the floor and studying the paintings. You cheap F's, he said. An NRA soldier took his arm. It was one of the same guys who had thrown Jennifer out. Of course it was. Let's go. Lee, don't let them do this. But Lee said nothing. Lee knew where his budget was coming from. The soldier began pushing him toward the elevator, and they reached the stairwell. John caught sight of the Pepsi Kid. And you! John clung to the door frame. The soldier tugged at his arms. You little crap. You always were a spineless parasite. You Pepsi a-hole. Don't make this difficult, the soldier said. John lost his grip on the frame. The door banged shut. Then it opened. The Pepsi Kid appeared at the top of the stairs. Hey, John, he said. My name is Theo. What? My name is Theodore. What makes you think I give a crap? No reason, the kid said. Then the soldier dragged John down another flight of stairs and he lost sight of him. Okay, wait, he said. You don't need to take me straight out. At least let me get some things from my office. Let me make a couple of calls. My orders are clear, sir. The government agent, you shot her, right? She's not still around, is she? The soldier glanced at him. It was decided to eject her from the building. You a-hole, you talk about orders. What about my duty orders? The soldier said nothing. Okay, wait, I'm sorry. You're just trying to do your job. I appreciate that, but you don't have to take me out the front door. Let me leave through the parking lot. I'm taking you out the front door. I'm very close friends with General Lee. Very close. You don't want to pee me off. I'll take that risk, sir. I have $200, John said, right here in my pocket. Go on, take it. They entered the lobby. The glass revolving doors loomed. He tried to dig in his heels, but his business shoes slipped on the polished floor. Please, sir, the soldier said. The lobby door slid apart, and then there was sunshine and people. You're demeaning not only yourself, but the entire U.S. Alliance organization. Oh, shut the F up, John said. 79, loss. The NRA soldiers marched Jennifer out into the street. She was numb from the news of Kate's kidnapping, that at first that she didn't realize what was happening around her. Then the NRA soldier nudged her and said, Ma'am, you should go now. She looked up and shook her head, trying to clear it. She felt slow and stupid. She felt beaten. Ma'am, please. Right, she said. There was a mall across the road with a McDonald's on one side and a Burger King on the other. In between the two was a riot. A bunch of kids in baggy clothes were looking at the Burger King. Pulling down posters, smashing cash registers, she caught a glimpse of Calvin trying to separate a fight and then lost him. She stepped down to the road. A horn blared somewhere, but by the time she realized she should turn her head, it had stopped and the driver was yelling at her. Jennifer kept walking. When she reached the other side, two black Jans jumped the curb and flung open their doors. Police officers spilled out. Jostling past her, they ran towards the riders. Jen! She saw Calvin again and tried to head for him. Calvin would help her. Move away from the store, one of the police shouted. And then somebody fired a gun, either the looters or the police, or either the U.S. Alliance people or the Team Advantage people. She didn't know which, and it didn't matter anyway. A lot of people ate the desk, which made it easier for her to spot Calvin. She found her way towards him, between red and yellow plastic tables and chairs. For F's sake, Calvin said when she reached him. Get your butt down. He pulled her into a doorway of a stationery store. It had a sign on the door which said, Proudly Independent, and another below that said, Going out of business sale. What's the matter with you? He took Kate. What? There was another long rattle of gunfire. The police had formed a cordon around Burger King. The looters were retreating to the McDonald's. NRA soldiers were reinforcing them, taking positions behind the counter at the cash registers. There was a lot of shouting going on, then someone fired again, and a bullet ricocheted off a Burger King cash register with a clang. Kate, she said. He took my daughter. Calvin stared. Kate's here? She shook her head. In Melbourne. He says he'll kill her unless I let him go. Oh, Jen. Calvin, I don't know what to do. Okay, he said. It's okay, Jen. We'll arrest him. We'll make him let her go. We can... His words were lost in one of the loudest sounds Jennifer had ever heard. The police had mounted a machine gun on the Burger King counter and was chewing up the McDonald's stir. Shreds of red and yellow plastic spiraled into the air like confetti. I'm going back in. Jen, you can't. Get down. We'll work something out. I should have shot him, she said, when I had the chance. Jen, wait. Did you see Billy? What? Billy's here. I had to bring him. Then I lost him. Get down. I have to go, she said and stood. She'd taken 10 steps when she heard it, a spitting sound like an air hissing out of a tire. She noticed a puff of white smoke at the top of the U.S. Alliance Tower, like the world's smallest cloud. Then something sleek and metallic drew a white line from the cloud to the Burger King, and an invisible fist hit Jennifer in the chest and she was deaf. She wasn't sure if she passed out. She became aware that Calvin was above her, shouting. She read missile from his lips. The Burger King was on fire. Everything was drenched in black smoke. She looked around. She could barely see the base of the U.S. Alliance building. She could barely see the glass lobby doors open. She could barely see John Nike come out of them. Calvin, she said, can I have your gun, please? His lips said, what? Just, she said, and through the smoke John saw her. She tore Calvin's gun from his holster and started running. She leapt over bits of ex-Burger King and dodged stunned police officers. The smoke curled and drifted, hiding John from view and revealing him again. John stepped onto the road and held up his hands. She thought he was surrendering. Too late for that, she thought. Then she saw the cab. John flung open the door and jumped inside. He must have said something highly motivational because the cab took off, its tires smoking. She was too far away to stop it. She was much too far. No, she screamed. No, no. Then she just screamed. 80. Reciprocity. Billy and the coupon girl were covering the doorway a few shops down from the McDonald's. This wasn't so bad since he got to snuggle right up close to her, but there was also a lot of bullets flying around. Billy was so comfortable with that. This kind of crap never happens in Colorado, the coupon girl said. Never. It doesn't happen so often in Texas either. There were about 30 feet between them and the road, with the U.S. Alliance building rising beyond that. Billy weighed their chances of making that distance without intercepting a bullet. So far, he wasn't confident. The police were strafing this whole side of the mall with a machine gun, and he didn't think the coupon girl's employment history would make any difference. This city, the coupon girl said, I swear. You know, this is all your fault. Why couldn't you just say McDonald's had better burgers? She glared at him. Why should I let them intimidate me? You let people push you around. You spend your life trying to keep everybody happy. Yeah, I guess, Billy said. Yeah, you're right. That's what's been happening to me for weeks. I don't believe anyone could push you around, the coupon girl said, her lips curved. Billy smiled back, then a line of bullets scored the wall a few feet above their heads and the storefront window imploded. Billy shielded the coupon girl from the falling glass. Thanks, she said. He looked up. We really have to get out of here. No crap, she said, and then there was a whooshing sound of Burger King across the mall exploded. It felt like an earthquake. Now, Billy said. He hauled the coupon girl to her feet. Come on. He took her hand, and they ran blindly through the black smoke. The coupon girl stumbled over a piece of rubble, and Billy caught her from falling. It was just like in a movie. They cleared the smoke, and there was an NRA soldiers everywhere. but no one was paying any special attention to Billy. Then someone familiar came out of U.S. Alliance building. Billy stopped in surprise. It was John Nike, the dude who had ordered him to shoot the government president in London. For a second he was tempted to walk up to the guy and slug him, but Billy had other priorities, like getting the itch away, so he started running again. John had pulled over a cab and got inside. He heard a scream and turned. For a second he didn't know who the figure stumbling out of the smoke was, then he realized it was Jennifer Government. Billy, stop him! He looked after John's cab. It was a bit late for that, he thought. He looked back at Jennifer. Please! Oh, crap, he looked around. I need a gun. Okay, the coupon girl bent over and picked up a piece of rubble for the gutter. Here, use this. No, a gun. Something to shoot with. But the coupon girl was already hurrying to an NRA soldier. Billy looked at the chunk of rubble. It didn't offer any clues to him. The coupon girl grabbed the soldier's shoulders and screamed into his face. Help me, help me. Hey, calm down, miss. Please, please. She tugged him in a half circle so his back was to Billy. Oh, Billy said, understanding. He stepped forward and hit the soldier on his head with a rock. The soldier yelled and clutched his head. Billy grabbed his rifle. Jeez, the coupon girl said. I thought you were never going to get it. Shh, he said. He spread his feet, balancing himself, and lined up the retreating cab. It was a ridiculous shot, really. The car was already a block and a half away, and there were just about 1 million people running in and out of the way. Just be quiet, she fell silent. Billy inhaled. You had to fire during a slow, controlled exhale. It was when your body was steadiest. You had to squeeze the trigger between your own heartbeats. The world dropped away. He fired. Holy crap, the coupon girl said. The tire blew. He saw the spray of rubber. The cab veered 90 degrees. Was clipped by a delivery van and ran into a storefront. Billy lowered the rifle. The girl was staring at him. How good are you? He looked back for Jennifer, but the smoke had obscured her again. Let's get out of here. Yeah, good idea. She took his hand. Where to? He smiled. You like skiing? Are you kidding? Why? I live in Aspen, she said. Aspen, Colorado. In the winter I work as a ski instructor. She shifted. What? It's not so weird. He found his voice. You really like skiing? Yes, Billy said. I really do. Cool, she said. Let's split. 81-42. Today is a great day, Vi thought. The funny part was that only a month or two ago he'd been ready to kill himself. He was still walking around only because he didn't know enough about guns to locate the safety on a Colt 45. Everything since then, you could argue, was borrowed time. I'm a great person. His legs were shaking as he entered the Chadstone Walmart Mall, and he felt like he might throw up soon. That was funny, too. He wasn't scared of dying, not even a little, but the idea of taking an escalator up to the level 4 terrified him. He couldn't believe that when he got there, he wouldn't see a girl sprawled on the floor in a spreading pool of blood. Hey, are you okay? He realized he'd swayed, almost fallen. A girl was looking at him with big, concerned eyes. Vi turned away. I'm fine. You sure? Yes, he said. It was a gasp. He couldn't breathe. He felt her eyes on his back as he pushed through the crowd. Elevators rose before him, a fusion of steel and chopper. Every obstacle is an opportunity. He wasn't expecting to see Violet on this level, and so he stared at her for entire seconds before he realized who he was looking at. Then he stared toward her. She saw him. Uh-oh, she said. She produced a gun. Vi almost laughed. Okay, you just stop there. Gun, somebody shouted. The shoppers around him scattered. Vi kept walking. Hey, I'm not kidding. Look, I'm sorry about your kid and all. Hey, stop. You want me to shoot you? Where is Kate? Stop, she screamed. And he saw her finger tightening on the trigger. The realization swept through him. If he died, he couldn't save Kate. He stopped. The gun was 2 feet away from his chest. Violet, said a young man beside her. Vi thought that was probably Hack Nike. Come on, put the gun down. Shut up, you don't care about me. Where's Kate? Vi said again. She's upstairs, Hack said. John's got her, on level 4 in the night. Shut up, Violet yelled. Violet, Hack said carefully. Mall security is probably on the way. Don't make this worse. I know what you're all doing. Everyone's going to get what they want except me. I'm going to get screwed over. Nobody's getting screwed. Please, Vi said. I need to find Kate. What's in it for me? Violet said. Please. I just wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to sell my software and make a little money. Is that so wrong? Violet, you're holding a gun, Hack said. You kidnapped a child. You want to know why things haven't worked out for you? Start there. There was a long pause. Then Violet said, There is no justice. Vi realized her intense second before she did it. He started to twist out of the way. Then the bullet kicked him as he was lying on his back, looking at the mall's fluorescent lights. There was some screaming and people's feet thudding by his head. It seemed like a good idea to lie still, so Vi did that. His bicep was throbbing. He touched it gingerly and looked at his fingers. They seemed to confirm that he'd been shot. Hack's face appeared above him. Oh crap, are you all right? I don't know, Vi said. I don't think you are. You better not move. It's okay, Violet's gone. Vi sat up. It didn't hurt as much as he thought. Maybe he was in shock. My name is Vi Mitsui. I need you to help me find Kate. She's Jennifer Government's daughter. Oh, man, Hack glanced at Claire. Look, we really need to get out of here. We're kind of wanted. I'm sorry. Oh, Vi said. Okay. He tried to get to his feet. Hack helped him. I'm really sorry, Hack said. It's just that if Nike catches me... Vi's vision glazed white, but he could see the elevators. He began to walk toward them. His arm was starting to hurt. He reached the second level before Hack and Claire came back. Okay, Hack said. I'll help. Thank you. What do you want us to do? Distract him, Vi said. 82. Ancestry. Jennifer was running in one direction, and about 10,000 people were running in the other, streaming out of a strip mall. She guessed there was nothing to clear an area like a missile strike. When she got inside, the place was almost drained of shoppers. She was struck by familiarity. The layout was the same as the Chadstone Walmart Mall. There were even 2 sports cars being raffled, but then these places were probably all built to the same plan. They were standardized. She spotted John just as he reached 2 NRA soldiers. He gasped to them, "Help me, I'm a U.S. Alliance liaison. There's a woman with a gun after me." He pointed at her. They drew their weapons. "Hold it there, ma'am." Jennifer dropped to a walk. She pointed her gun skywards. "Shoot her," John shouted. "Ma'am, you need to drop the weapon right now." She kept walking. "Ma'am." "She's not going to stop, you dumb Fs. Shoot the bee." John began to edge away. "We're not kidding. This is your last chance." "All right," she said, and holstered her pistol. A soldier reached for her. She took his arm and twisted. He gasped in surprise, and she rammed his head into the second soldier's face. They fell to the floor, and she kicked her weapons away. "You morons!" John screamed. He ran for the escalators. He was surprisingly fleet. He didn't appear to have been injured in the cab crash. She took careful aim. The bullet clanged off the escalator's steel sides. John stopped running. He leaned over the railing. "Are you stupid?" In the empty mall, his voice echoed. "Do you want me to hurt Kate?" She corrected her aim, but this time he read her intent and ducked. She missed everything. She jogged toward the escalator. "If my man doesn't hear from me, he'll kill her," John shouted, but Jennifer didn't believe that. There was a note of rising panic in his voice, and besides, John wasn't the sort to make plans in the event of his own death. She caught a glimpse of him scrambling from one escalator to the next. "You better back off right now." He tried to give her the slip of level 5, but she saw him reflected in the store window, trying to hide behind a pillar. He was doing something with his hands. She raised her gun and carefully moved toward him. John heard her coming. "Jen, don't do anything stupid. Come out, John. I'm on the police," he yelled. "I'm on the effing phone. Do you want me to kill her?" She stopped. "That's right, Jen. I have a live connection here. You better think very clearly." He stepped out into the open. His cell phone was pressed to his left ear. There was a sheet of sweat on his forehead. His business shirt was soaked through. "Put down the gun." "I can't do that." "You want me to make him hurt her?" "I can do that." Jennifer looked at her gun. It seemed to pity. "Do it." She put the gun on the floor. "Hang up." "Kick your gun over here first. You hang up, I'll give you the gun." "Not your place to bargain, Jen. It's really not." Jennifer considered. It would be a bad move for her to give John her gun. Very bad. She was pretty sure he'd just shoot her. She put her foot on the gun. "Careful, Jen. Nice and slow. I don't suppose you ever saw any of the kids you had killed," she said. "I did. It was in a mall like this one." "Oh, please," John said. "Don't start moralizing. I've had about as much of that as I can take. Give me the gun." She pushed it with her foot. It spun across the floor, the barrel describing lazy ellipses until it disappeared off the edge of the level. She heard it hit one of the cars on the ground floor with a bang. John's eyes bulged. "Was I not clear? Hang up the phone." "You couldn't let me go, could you? You had to chase me across half the world. It's pathetic, Jen. You're obsessed. You think you changed when you left Mayor? You think you grew a conscience when you got pregnant? Bullcrap. You were a corporate beat at Mayor, and you haven't changed, same as that tattoo. You're not doing your job. You don't give a crap about those Nike teenagers. You're after me for what I wouldn't give you 8 years ago. This is personal." Jennifer didn't think that was a fair characterization. She was going to debate it, but then her cell phone rang. 83, redemption. A lot of people were hurrying out of the mall, courtesy of Violet discharging a firearm. The Nike town was just up ahead, and Vi saw a man poke his head out and look at the people scurrying past. As ahead, it was nothing to boast about. It looked like how Vi felt. From behind, Hack yelled, "Hey, a-hole!" The man's face whipped around. Hack and Claire were by the escalators, waving their arms. "John, you ugly pea. Hey." John stepped out of the store. He was dragging Kate with him. Vi's heart leapt. Kate's face was streaked with dried tears. "Just another minute, honey," he thought. "What?" John said. "I can't hear you." His free hand slipped inside his jacket pocket. Vi staggered up to him. His arm was bleeding profusely. "Excuse me." "Hey." John's face wrinkled. "What the H do you want?" "Forgiveness," Vi said, and wrapped his arms around him. "Kate, run." "What the F?" John said. Kate stared at him, frozen. Then she ran. Vi had never seen anything more beautiful than her retreating back and bouncing hair. "Get off me." "Sorry," Vi gasped. "No can do." "Let me go." John slammed Vi against the Nike town door, and he lost all his air in a rush. John pulled back for another attempt. Vi suddenly realized the Nike town door handles were long metal swooshes. Tape were defined points. That was kind of dangerous, he thought. Someone could get hurt on those. John slammed him backwards again. Bai heaved himself to the left and swung Jen around. John hit the door and Bai lost a grip. He fell to the floor and coughed. He almost expected to start feeling John's business shoes connecting with his ribs, but not really. It had been a good swing, a very good swing. Bai? Every obstacle is an opportunity, Bai said. He tried to laugh, but it came out as a hacking cough. Blurry faces appeared above him. Somebody call an ambulance, call 911, use my American Express card, Bai said. He was full of witticisms. He couldn't stop. Bai, just lay still. Kate, where is... I don't know if you want Kate to see this, Hack said. John is... he's on the swoosh. Please, I must see her, Hack started to leave. Bai grabbed him with his good hand. Hack, thank you. Hack looked embarrassed. No problem. Bai closed his eyes. He was going to faint soon, and that wasn't good. There was something he had to do first. He had to hold out. Bai, Bai, he opened his eyes. Everything was hazy. He couldn't see Kate properly. Then something wet fell on his face, and he realized she was crying. Hey, I will be fine. Really? Are you sure? I'm really sure. Okay, now Kate. Someone started wrapping something around Bai's arm. He felt dimly grateful, but it was starting to hurt a lot. There's something I need you to do. It's very important. You have to do it straight away, all right? What? Call your mother, he said, and passed out.